Greetings, Judah. DFG here, Gideon's Flight. Hey guys, just want to take a couple of minutes of your time and just to share some perspective again on this whole obsession with anti-Donald Trump. And I think this is something, guys, we really have to think about and think about it in the most critical kinds of way. Uh, and what I mean by that, we have to think this thing through. Now, and I know some of you guys say, well, first, I got a question for you. First of all, what did Donald Trump do to so-called black people since he's been in office? I mean, I'm talking about what he actually did that caused us any more harm than we were already dealing with before he was selected to his office. Because I'm sure you're not going to say racial discrimination, because I think unless you've been under a rock some damn where for the last 400 years, we were well, and racism was well entrenched against us. And then some of you might say, well, I don't like his rhetoric. Well, why would you take it so personal, so-called black man and black woman? Donald Trump talks about everybody. He talks about mainstream media, calls them fake news. He talks about the Mexicans, called them nasty and dirty. He talks about the Africans, called them shit countries. He talks about women. I mean, he talks about, the Democrat. That guy talks about every goddamn body. So why would you feel so offended? So why would you be so deep in your feelings, in regards to just something that he may have said in regards to offend your so-called racist feelings or emotions? You know what I'm saying? Your sensitivity. Because I would challenge you that you need to think about something here before you go down that Biden Kamala Harris road. Those two individuals, in their limited power, did everything in their power to keep so-called black people locked up and incarcerated. Both of them. Biden with the Biden bill, the crime bill, from 84 to 94. We've all heard him talking about lock them up. He don't care, who's at fault. Just lock them up and throw the keys away. If they're going to get any kind of help, let them get it in prison. And then we know the story of Kamala Harris in terms of when men had completed their sentences and should have been released. She consciously put in enacted laws to keep these men in prison in California. And our reason why? Because we needed more niggas on the plantation. Of course, she said, who's going to do the work? But if you know anything about the 13th Amendment, you know the prison system is, it's the slave system by another name. It just went from the plantations to the prisons. That's all you saw, and that's what you still see today. Again, go back and read the 13th Amendment. But here's the deeper point that I want to make to you. If Biden and Harris put laws in place with the limited powers they both had, her as Attorney General for California, him in the United States Senate and Congress for over 40 years, what the hell you think they're going to do if they get absolute power? Now, if they did those things with limited power, again, what in the hell you think they're going to do once they get absolute power? You think that these people are going to change their politics just because, you voted for them? They've been getting so-called black votes, and it never changed or influenced or persuaded them in past. And again, you sisters out there, remember, she was locking up black women because their children were truant kids. In other words, they were shooting hooky or were not going to school. And she had these mothers arrested, at least threatening to arrest these mothers. That's how much she thought about you. And yet you had all kind of financial crimes going on inside that state, banking crimes going on inside that state that she was very aware of. Steve Mnuchin is the one that comes to mind, and she did absolutely nothing to prosecute these people. And also, you start talking about police brutality and things like that. She was 100% on the side of the so-called law enforcement, regardless of whether or not they had committed crimes against, so-called, people of color, African Americans. So what I'm saying to you is that you need to be real careful. That's the old saying that, the enemy I know is better than the enemy that I don't know. I think that's a whole. I guess it's a mouthful, I'll say, that we need to be thinking about right now. All right? So I'm not saying go out there and vote for Trump. I mean, you already know my position of I don't believe in the lesser of two evils. I'm not voting for any one of them devils. All of them are wicked across the board. None of them have our best interests in mind, but they'll tell you any goddamn thing to get your vote, to get your support. And then once they get in office, they're going to lose that number. And I think we all know that. the last thing I'll say, people, let me give you, I was talking to someone, just recently, and I had asked them a question. We were talking about benefits and advantages, and I just gave the simple, I want to say, what did we call an analogy? Is that, what would you prefer, the golden egg or the goose that lays the golden egg? And they told me they would take the egg, the golden egg, and I thought about it. I said, that's not a very bright perspective. Why wouldn't you take the goose that lays the golden egg? You can get many eggs if you got the goose that lays them. But that's the way many of us think. You follow me? In other words, you're thinking short term. You're only thinking in terms of what's happening right now, what they want from you right now, instead of looking at the whole scope of the situation. You need to go back and look at what Biden did, what Harris did, and then you need to compare and contrast with what Trump has done. And yes, he talks a lot of shit, and yeah, he stroked a lot of, racist, devils and bigots and wicked fools out there. He's got them all ratchet up and, ready to pick up their guns, I guess, and start a race war. But hell, them motherfuckers are gonna pick up their guns anyway. And at the end of the day, Judah, if that's what you're sitting around worried about a racist, then you got a lot of goddamn time, wasted time on you. You got too much time on your hand. We got much bigger issues going on globally than whether some, white trailer trash, one step away from hell fool thinks about you or me. Because I know I don't give a damn about what they think. Think whatever the hell they want. I'm concerned about what I think, how my mind works, what Yah reveals to me, and his truths. I don't give a damn about no devil and devils. And neither should you. So all of you guys, again, who's pushing this whole, we need to go for Biden and Harris, I'm just telling you, you better understand, what I'm saying? Like I said before, the enemy is probably a whole lot better than the enemy that you don't know. Yah said, be careful of wolves in sheep's clothing. He forewarned you. He said day would come that many would be deceived by these wolves. And I think right now, a lot of you are about to get eaten, and you don't even realize it because you're looking at the egg instead of the goose that's laying that egg. You better think big term, long term. These people, talking about again, Biden and Harris, have gone out of their way to bring harm and destroy so-called black families, Judah family, so-called, so-called Hebrew Israelite families. These people, they have a track record of doing it. Why you think they've been in position in a racist nation for so long? You think Harris would have got up that way if she showed that she was pro so-called black people? Hell no. Where's her husband? Why is her husband being hid from everybody? Is it because he's white? And she don't want you to see that side of who she really is? In other words, she don't want you to see the wolf. She wants you to see the sheep. So sisters, again, you guys better wake up while you still have time. Okay? Because come November 2nd or 3rd, whenever their so-called selection day comes, if you don't come to a clear understanding about who your true enemies are, you may find out too late that it was, again, there was really a damn ghost under the bed or a ghost in your closet. They weren't just talking shit. You've been warned about Harris and you've been warned about Biden. And if you can't see it, you will see it. Trust me on that. Okay, and I can go farther, but I want to keep this message real short, concise. But again, all this stuff about, Trump this and Trump that, from what I can see, all I've seen, him talking a lot of shit. I won't question that. You follow me about us. But he talks shit about everybody. I don't know why we feel so special. He ain't the first damn bigot to call you a nigger. Which I ain't heard him call nobody nigger. But, he ain't the first one that looked down his nose at our people and accused us of being, having one function as so-called black men anyways. The only thing we're good at is in bed. And that's about it. It's a damn lie. He needs to read a history book. But that's a story for another goddamn day. But he's an ignorant fool. So what else would you expect him to say? But look at his politics in terms of what he's actually done, and look at the politics of Harris and Biden and what they've actually done. And there is no comparison between the two. These two are off the charts. Trump is just, 4 years in, just being a damn narcissistic, white bigot, like most of them are. All right? Nothing special there. All right? Nothing to see there, as they say. Nothing new to see there. But anyway, guys, just forewarning you, probably best off just start working on economics and figuring out how we can get, that going before Yah returns, if it's Yah's will, and to hell with voting. That's not where our problem lies. Our problem is not voting for those devils. Our problem is coming together, voting for ourselves through economics and rebuilding the family, and protecting our children from this homosexual agenda and all these other agendas out there to destroy and break down our families, and using all these liberal agents, including these NBA players and actors and entertainers, to have them putting dress on boys and pants on girls. And I'm not talking about pants, you know what I mean. You're confusing the genders. That whole Baphomet mentality, that's Lucifer mentality, half man, half woman. I'm all things to all people. That, you know, sorcery. But anyway, that's it. That's what I got for you right now. I'll be back soon, but I just wanted to just say, hey, Judah, wake up. You know what I'm saying? Open up your eyes before it's too late. Bye now.